Welcome to the Leadership Transition course. In this module, we will continue with the topic Situation, Behavior, Impact, in summary, SBI model. So what is the Situation, Behavior, Impact model? Now, we talked about feedback model in our previous module or topic. And one of the model that is used as a feedback model is the SBI model, where you use that model as a way to help managers to deliver clear and specific feedback to the people or the team members. It can also be used vice versa by the team member if you're aware how to use this towards your own manager or others. So the idea is that the S stands for the situation. You describe the situation with the specifics, and then you describe the behavior that you observe rather than the motivation. And then you describe what the impact the behavior has. In other words, for example, if I take a situation in the case of Sarah struggling with one of her team members, she can have a chat with that team member where she says, "Hey Tom, I observed during, the other day when we were having the group meeting and when you were asked about a delivery, you kind of presented the status without completing the whole story. And when we try to ask you to do it better, the way you behaved was a little bit snobby because you looked down on Judy, who was asking the question, to give more insight. So what you've just done is you describe the situation where it happened, when it happened, and then the behavior that was observed. And then the impact could be that you say, "Hey Tom, that really did not encourage Judy to speak up because she sees you as a senior member, and now she has the impression that senior members may not be able to take feedback from their juniors, which means the group, if they continue to do this, might have even bigger or worse impact or problems." And from then on, you can have a conversation. And this is what the model says. But it also means that both you and Tom needs to come to an understanding. But if you immediately start approaching the situation with Tom, if Sarah starts approaching the situation with Tom where she does not describe the situation, get the consent of Tom to at least recognize it, and then the behavior and what the impact would be, and it might be difficult to make a new behavior and a new agreement to see what the impact would be. So that's why in an SBI, extended feedback, so you have the situation, you have the behavior, you also describe the impact, but then you have to talk about what alternative behavior needs to happen. Therefore, Tom and Sarah needs to decide on what or how they should approach it. And of course, as a leader, or Sarah being a leader can say, well, you can go to uh, Jody and say, "This was not the impression, this is why I did this," or apologize, depends. Or you can say, "Okay, in a meeting, what we will do is we raise a question in order to create a new atmosphere or behavior and see what the impact in order to encourage the team." And basically, these are things that you have to also look into. So a number of tips will be: consider your body language and tone and voice, and give feedback with the mindset of helping the other person. Offer at least as much positive feedback and use the situation, behavior, impact. And based on this, we've been able to at least show how this SBI model looks and how it can be used to give feedback. Thank you.